Let's cross live to Owerri, the Imo State capital, where the Nddc Renewed Hope Youth and Women Conference is currently underway. The gathering brings together youth leaders, women advocates, and policymakers from across the Niger Delta to explore opportunities for empowerment, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development. The event is part of broader efforts to promote inclusive growth and support underrepresented communities.
Solution to the socio-economic difficulties of the Niger Delta region. So help us God.
It's a beautiful afternoon here in Owerri, the Imo State capital, where the Nddc, celebrating its silver jubilee, is having a program here. First, I would like to start.
Your Excellency
of the Nddc, it is to offer a lasting solution to the socio-economic difficulties of the Niger Delta region. Its mission is to facilitate the rapid and sustainable development of the Niger Delta into a region that is economically prosperous, socially stable, ecologically regenerative, and politically peaceful. And in very few words, the motto of the Nddc is making a difference. I am Ovieteme George, welcoming to this live broadcast on the Arise News channel, and with me is Joseph McPepple. It is the Nddc Renewed Hope Women and Youth Conference happening live in Owerri, the Imo State capital.
Pretty important event here today. This is an event that underscores the NDDC's dedication to inclusivity and stakeholder engagement. And it is quite important and a strong force to show NDDC's commitment to instill development in the Niger Delta. As you know, women and youth populations constitute a vital demographic of the region's stakeholders, and that is what makes this here engagement today very, very important.
Well, the Nddc says it's been a long road, 25 years, that's Silver Jubilee, for an interventionist agency that has had ups and downs, somewhat controversial in the past, but it appears there is a breath of fresh air with Chiedu Ebie as chairman of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku as managing director, chief executive officer. The mandate is to bring human and infrastructural development to the Niger Delta. And there's something that is being stated over and over again. All abandoned projects, legacy projects will be completed. A charge from the man in Aso Villa, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to the MD of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku.
And the people of the Niger Delta are at the receiving end of this very important charge, savoring every goodness that comes from every project that the NDDC is completing and starting. Well, this 25th anniversary celebration started over a week ago with very important events. First, there was a special Thanksgiving service. There was also a world press briefing and the movie premiere on the NDDC's achievement over the years. And this is the Youth and Women Conference holding here in Owerri, the Imo State capital.
Well, something worth noting is that the NDDC decided to kickstart its 25th anniversary with a Thanksgiving service at the Thomas Anglican Church and reception at the International Culture and Events Center, the Dome in Akure, Ondo State. Well, you did mention earlier the World Press Briefing at Asaba, and of course the movie premiere. But today, the Renewed Hope Youth and Women Conference here in Owerri, the Imo State capital. It's like the commission is saying, let's go to all the states within our purview and make them participate actively in this Silver Jubilee celebration.
I like how this spread all the events across the 9 states of the Niger Delta region, a critical event happening in River State, Port Harcourt, where the NDDC has its headquarters. There's also the press briefing, world press briefing that went on in Asaba, in Delta State. And there are different events. This here event is in Owerri, Imo State, and other states of the Niger Delta in Ondo State. Projects are being commissioned. And, Cross River and Akwa Ibom has had their fair share of events as well to mark this milestone of the NDDC celebrating 25 years of promoting development, transparency, inclusivity, and most importantly, hope for the future.
Well, at this point in time, I would like to say, let's hear from the man on the podium. Once again, I am Oviete Major, doing this with Joseph Mac Pepple.
Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, here represented by the Deputy Governor of Imo State, Her Excellency, Lady Chinyere Uhoma Ikumaru, PhD. Please, a round of applause for her. In our midst also is the Senate Committee Chairman on NDDC, Senator Asukwo Ekpeyon. Please, a round of applause for him. We have other members of the Senate Committee on NDDC who are here with their chairman. Our dear Senator Chimuba Patrick Ndubeze, Imo North, Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on NDDC, and Chairman, Senate Committee on Steel Development. Please, a round of applause for him. Senator Osita Izunaso, Imo West, Chairman, Senate Committee on Capital Market, member of this committee. Please, a round of applause for him. Senator Onyewuchi Francis Ezenwa, Imo East, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Agency for Sciences and Engineering Infrastructure. Please, a round of applause for Senator Onyewuchi. You're welcome. Senator Victor Ume, Anambra Central, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Identity Card and National Population. Distinguished Senator, you're welcome. Senator Titus Uzam, Benue Northwest, Chairman, Senate Committee on Rules and Business, member of this committee, and also Chairman of the North Central Development Commission. Senator Titles, you are welcome. Senator Tony Woye, Anambra North, member, Senate Committee on Nddc. Senator Woye, you are welcome, sir. Also in our midst is the beautiful wife of the Senate Committee Chairman on Nddc, Mrs. Nella Duke Ekpeong. You're welcome, ma. Please a round of applause for her. You're welcome, ma. We also have the Honorable Minister for State Regional Development. I understand he's on his way, sorry. Right Honorable Chike Olembe, Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, represented by Right Honorable Amara Iwanyamu, Deputy Speaker, Imo State. Please a round of applause for him. We recognize you. May I also recognize principal officers and members of the Imo State House of Assembly who are here. Please a round of applause for them. A round of applause for them. Let me respectfully recognize in our midst the Chairman Governing Board of Nddc, Mr. Chiedu Ebie Esquire. Please a round of applause for our Chairman. A round of applause for him. Chief Samuel Obuku, PhD, the man who is transiting the Nddc from transactions to transformation. MDC or Nddc, Chief Samuel Obuku, PhD. A round of applause for him, please. Alabo Honorable Buma Iyaye Esquire is here in our midst. DSSRS, Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Nddc, Chairman of the Central Planning Committee of the 25 years anniversary. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you. Sir Victor Etimantai, Executive Director of Projects, Nddc, is also here. A round of applause for him. The Ashwaju of Akure is in our midst. Honorable Ifedayo Abegunde, Executive Director of Corporate Services. Please, a round of applause for him also. May I respectfully recognize the esteemed board members of Nddc who are seated here. We have in our midst member representing Abia State on the governing board, Chief Dingbe Ruba. Please, a round of applause for him. Member representing Akwa Ibom State is also here, Apostle Andikana Basinkono. Member representing Imo State on the governing board, Dr. Chidebere Kirian Uchebu is also here in our midst. A round of applause for him. Member representing North Central, Honorable Nicholas Wende is here. Please, a round of applause for him. The member representing Delta State on the governing board, Right Honorable Monde Ibuya is also here in our midst. Please, a round of applause for him. The member representing Bayelsa State on the governing board, Elder Senator Deimbofa Dimaro. You are welcome, sir. Also in our midst is the member representing River State, Honorable Chief Tony Okocha, and his beautiful wife, Lady Ogechi Tony Okocha. Please, a round of applause for them. As we receive the names of other board members, we shall recognize them. Let me also recognize in our midst the Chairman APC Imo State, Honorable Sir McDonald Ebere, PhD. Please, a round of applause for him. Let me recognize Eze Imo and the Chairman, Southeastern Traditional Rulers Forum, and and other Royal Majesties and Highnesses and Ezes here present. Let me respectfully recognize as His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. E.C. Okeke, CFR, Eze Imo. Please, a round of applause for him. The Secretary to the Government of Imo State is also here in our midst, Chief Cosmos Iwu. A round of applause for him. Let me also respectfully recognize members of the Imo State Executive Council seated here. Please, a round of applause for them. The head of service, Imo State, I understand, is also here, Mrs. Chikodi Emelamung, FMI, head of state, Imo State. Please, a round of applause for her. Thank you, sir. We have the service commanders, heads of military and paramilitary agencies in our midst. Please, we recognize you. A round of applause for them. Chairmen and members of boards, commissioners and state agencies, please, a round of applause for all of them. Let me respectfully recognize head of traditional and tertiary institutions seated here, not leaving out the vibrant and elegant youths and women of the Niger Delta region. Please, a round of applause for yourselves. A round of applause for yourselves. A round of applause for yourselves. I understand the Chief of Staff to the Governor of Imo State is here, Barrister Nnamdi Anyalechi. Please, a round of applause for him. Chief of Staff, you're welcome. You're welcome, sir. Barrister Nnamdi Anyalechi. Thank you, Anyalechi. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, having recognized the dignitaries who are seated here, let me at this point invite to the mic the member representing Imo State on the governing board of Nddc, Dr. Kirian C. Uchebu, for the welcome address. To pilot this event today with me is Seleme Aso PhD. My name is Sam Chuku. Please, a round of applause for the member representing Imo State, Dr. Kirian Uchebu.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma Onwimo, ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Her Excellency, Dr. Lady Chiere Ekomaru. You are welcome. The Speaker, Imo State House of Assembly, Honorable Chike Olemwe, ably represented by the Deputy Speaker, Amara Iwayangu. The Senate Committee Chairman on Nddc, distinguished Senator Ekpenyom, and all other senators, members of the Senate Committee who are here with him, especially the three senators representing the three senatorial districts of Imo State. You are welcome, sirs. The Chairman of the Governing Board of Nddc, Barrister Chiedu Ebie Esquire, the Managing Director of Nddc, Dr. Samuel Obuku, PhD, the Secretary to Imo State Government, the Chief of Staff, Imo State Government, honorable members, commissioners, and distinguished guests who are here today. Let me stand on the already well-established protocol. I extend my warm greetings to you today as we mark the 25th anniversary of Nddc's existence. Before us today is a gallery of new faces and familiar faces because a celebration of joy is going on. I want to, on behalf of Imo people whom I represent in the board of Nddc, welcome all of you to this epoch-making event. Especially, I want the board to know that what the Imo people are saying through their governor, through their senators, through their speaker and all other representatives is that Nddc should continue to do partnership with us. The one they have done, we appreciate it, especially in the area of youth development. We have what is called Skill Up Imo Youth. We will appreciate the situation NDDC will come into partnership in that area with us. Also, we will appreciate partnership in other areas, agriculture, infrastructure development. However, today, we are talking about NDDC because of the performance of the 7th Governing Board, as have been attested by all stakeholders. So I want to welcome all the delegates, our women, the youth, the people of Niger Delta from the 9 states. I want also to welcome my colleagues, the board members from NDDC. So I say, you're all welcome. Let us stay and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere of Imo State. And I'm sure we'll be glad we did. Thank you, and remain blessed.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to this 25th anniversary event, Women and Youth Day. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, youth are not the leaders of tomorrow. They are the partners of today, as well as women. A progressive society uplifts its women. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is at this point that I humbly and respectfully want to invite a man who is very passionate about the growth and development of the youth in our society. A visionary leader, a humanist, a change agent who is intentionally repositioning the NDDC from transactional to transformational through many successful initiatives and projects in the Niger Delta region. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if our hands are not so busy, may we put our hands together as I invite to the microphone the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the NDDC, Chief Samuel Obuko, PhD.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, our Chief Host, ably represented by the Deputy Governor herself, the Chairman of the Senate Committee on NDDC, Senator Ekpayong Asukwo. Let me use the 3 senators representing Imo State and the Senate that are here present to connect with the other senators that are here. The Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, ably represented by the Deputy Speaker, the Chairman of the Governing Board of the NDDC, a wonderful gentleman that is a blessing to the Niger Delta, who has given us all the energy in the boardroom that we are working with. The executive directors, who are my dependable allies, 3 of them seated here, the EDFA, EDP, and EDCS. The board members, who have been our pillar, that anything we take to them, they say, for the sake of the Niger Delta people, pass. They are the ones that have done this magic, that have made NDDC today to transit from transaction to transformation. The Secretary to the State Government of Imo State, the Chief of Staff, the Head of Service, members of the Imo State House of Assembly, members of the State Executive Council, the people of Imo State that are here, staff of NDDC that are here, who are the people that do the magic for us, the ones that are not noticed but are the ones that are performing the wonders. The Chairman, Traditional Rulers Council, Imo State, other traditional rulers that are here present. Let me specially recognize the women and youth for whom we're here today. Today is a very important day in the history of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Before I go into what I want to tell you, let me first of all bring greetings from Mr. President, who is not here at the moment, but actually communicated to me that we should extend his deepest appreciation to the women and youths of the Niger Delta. This appreciation is coming on the heels of the fact that last year, when the entire country was getting ready for protest against this present administration, which was sponsored by some displaced politicians who thought they can take power through the back door, Mr. President directed that we should call the people of the Niger Delta, where we called youths and women from the Niger Delta. We all gathered in Port Harcourt. The President of the Senate was there. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps was there. Some other leaders were there. And in that gathering, the people of the Niger Delta took their stance that they were not going to be part of that protest. And it was very, very clear that while some other parts of Nigeria was burning as at then, the Niger Delta was very, very peaceful. Mr. President says I should, on his behalf, express his deepest gratitude to the people of the Niger Delta, especially the youths and the women, and to let you know that part of his gratitude is what he has actually delegated the Nddc to do. That is why he has not taken his eyes off the Niger Delta Development Commission, because the only way he can reach out to you is to reach out to you through the activities of the Nddc. Now, our 25 years anniversary, we started from Ondo State, where we started by thanking God for preserving this commission till this day. We thought it was very, very necessary we appreciate God first. And thereafter, we decided to say the next step is to give accountability of what we have done so far, the achievements of this commission in the last 25 years, and what this administration has achieved so far within this short period. We had the World Press Conference in Asaba on Monday. That was aimed at giving accountability. And we're able to give good account of what the Renewed Hope administration in Nddc has achieved so far, called Dividends of Renewed Hope, where we're able to reel out achievements such as projects we have commissioned, projects that were started within this short period, and projects that were accomplished within this short period. We answered questions from the media, and we believe everybody left that hall satisfied that Nddc has done very well. And today, we're here. As part of the program, we felt the youth and women can never be neglected. Hence, today, this program is taking place where youths and women from different parts of the Niger Delta are here gathered. For us to also update you on what we have done so far, our programs and plans for the youth and women as we turn a new leaf to start a new journey after 25 years. We believe we cannot start this journey without also hearing from you, because you are the ones that have suffered most in this region. The women, when there is crisis, they are the mothers that always want to control their children. The youths, when there is crisis, you are the ones that are always out there suffering, agitating. So we felt there is no way we can start this new journey without coming to you, without consulting you, without hearing from you to start a new page in the history of the Nddc. That is why this program is very, very important to us, and that is why this program is very, very important to this government, so that we can also be properly guided based on your thoughts, your vision on what the Nddc can do for you as we turn a new leaf. In the past 25 years, we know it has been ups and downs. We have recorded huge success. We have also had areas where we failed. But failure is also part of success, because without failing, you will not correct your mistakes to know what to change. So we have learned from our mistakes, and we are also willing to improve on the successes achieved so far. So right now, we are fired up, we are geared towards entering a new chapter in the history of Nddc. Under, we came up and the youth internship scheme was launched during the last session we had with youth and women. And that program, it took some time, but that program started earnestly this year. After some months, we had to shut it down to merge the Project Hope and the internship together. It is worthy to explain that what Nddc is doing now, we are going digital. Digital, and also trying to ensure that we collect data. We must have data of women and youths in the Niger Delta. The whole idea is to ensure that we don't need to have all of you in Port Harcourt before we reach out to you. Whether you are in Owerri, whether you are in Akure, whether you are in Asaba, whether you are in Yeregua, so long as you're captured in our database, we can reach out to you based on your area of competence and area of strength. So based on that, we came up with this process of using data in our processes. From the Project Hope, there is a database, and the youth internship also will have a database. But we decided to merge these two data so that people cannot be benefiting from youth internship and benefiting from Project Hope on one hand. The whole idea is that we know we have scarce resources, and we know everybody is qualified to benefit. So we don't want one person alone to be benefiting in all our programs. So we are merging these two databases together for us to have one database, so that anybody who is benefiting, and you know that you cannot benefit from another program again, because the queue is very, very long. So we really appreciate the patience of the youths and the patience of the women. But one thing I can assure you, that all what we have done to merge these platforms together, we have concluded that, and immediately after the events of this, our 25 years anniversary, the payments will start. And those payments that we've not paid, we're also going to pay them in arrears. So we have really upgraded our system so that nobody will be shortchanged and nobody will be cheated, because we want everybody to benefit from Nddc. So I have talked about our achievements in Nddc in different fora, and I believe all of you must have listened to our various achievements. Our achievements right now, under this administration, through the guidance of Mr. President, it is very, very visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. I believe all of you are aware that the Nddc Operation Light Up the Niger Delta, at least all of you must have benefited from it in one way or the other. The road projects we are commissioning, bridges we are commissioning, the ones we are kickstarting too are also there for you to see. Just last week, Friday, as one of our partnerships which were built because we believe partnership is the quickest way of achieving most of our projects. One of the partnerships we have with the NLNG, last week Friday, we were in Bonny Kingdom to also kickstart that project, the Bonny Ring Road. And I can assure you, this time around, that project is going to start to finish. These are part of the legacy projects which Mr. President has directed us to ensure that we finish. Mr. President believes that no project of the NDDC should be abandoned anymore. And we are very, very happy that he's giving us that guidance. We are also very, very happy that he gave us a minister who is also an engineer, who is also supporting us technically and not only administratively. So we believe as NDDC, we are blessed to have all these people working together with a National Assembly that we have that is really giving us all the necessary support to ensure that we achieve all we want. The National Assembly is very, very wonderful because they try to ensure that everything we do is accelerated, because we have a young man in the Senate and a young lady in the House of Reps serving as our committee chairmen who are also energetic and eager to see that we succeed. They have contributed so much to ensure that this administration of NDDC succeeds. So I just want to use this opportunity to tell us that I want us to take advantage of the chamber, because I understand that the NDDC of yesterday, as we turn a new leaf, we are trying to ensure that people benefit through the right way. Gone are those days when you think that you make money and you think it is government money you cannot pay back, so the money is free money. NDDC has carried out a lot of programs for youth and women, entrepreneurship programs, but you find out that these programs, you cannot really see people that have really benefited from them, because a lot of people have this mentality that it is free money. In order to mitigate that and also to avoid that situation, we decided to come up with the Niger Delta Chamber of Commerce. The Niger Delta Chamber of Commerce, if you are not registered with the Niger Delta Chamber of Commerce, go and register. Because you cannot come to NDDC to give you loan for agriculture. You cannot come to NDDC to give you money for entrepreneurship. We have decided to use the medium of the Niger Delta Chamber of Commerce to reach out to all entrepreneurs in the Niger Delta. Once you're a registered member of the Chamber of all what we are doing is only to support the Chamber of Commerce to reach out to its members. Recently, in our 2024 budget, we have a 30 billion naira provision in supporting the Chamber of Commerce, and just last week, we have released 5 billion naira first advance payment for that. And we are going to ensure that we complete it. So just know that you don't need to write to NDDC for support. Where you need to go to is the Chamber of Commerce, because we are trying to do things differently and trying to do it in a more sustainable way. In a more sustainable way that tomorrow, not only you will benefit, even your children will also come and benefit. So we are putting sustainable structures together, and I want all of us to work together. I want people to give us that cooperation. Let us achieve all this. Support all the programs and activities of the NDDC. We will also ensure that reward you through projects. Support all the programs and activities of the federal government of Nigeria, and Mr. President has made it as a point of duty that through the NDDC, he will reach out to all of you. And that is why we are all on our toes to carry out Mr. President's directives. And I believe Mr. President has done very, very well by ensuring that today, the NDDC that everybody is celebrating today, NDDC that was almost dead, that he was able to bring it back. The NDDC is now the toast Mr. President has done, and I believe the people of the Niger Delta need to give this president that support. A president who does not love you will not put his eye on something that is your common patrimony. He will rather die. So this president deserves the commendation from the people of the Niger Delta. This is the reward the president is giving to you for listening to him, for standing by him, and that is why we are here. Out that action. I want to, on behalf of Mr. President, let you know that Mr. President has also given us the directive that the next phase of NDDC, we should concentrate more on agriculture, because we must ensure that we feed the people of the Niger Delta. Agriculture is the next phase, and that phase, we want to start it in partnership with all the state governments. That we are going to have a mini agricultural summit, a mini agricultural retreat. That retreat with all the state governments, part of it, their commissioners for agriculture, will sit down, look at how we want to start agriculture in the Niger Delta. And once we finish that, we will now come up with the agricultural summit for the Niger Delta, where we are going to drop a roadmap for agriculture in the Niger Delta, so that areas where we need to enrich palm oil, we do that. Area where we need to grow rice, we do that. We believe with the land and rivers we have in the Niger Delta itself can feed itself in this country without depending on any other part of this country. But that is only if we believe in ourselves and harness our resources. So that is the vision of Mr. President for the Niger Delta. And I believe at this point, all of us here in this room will agree that the president that we have today loves the people of the Niger Delta. Us here are ready to support Mr. President for his next election. If you agree with me, say aye. You can see that we don't have naysayers here. With the authority from the National Assembly members that are here. So you can see that even the youths and women of the Niger Delta have said that they are behind Mr. President. Thank you very much.
A resounding round of applause for the MDC. Thank you. Thank you. A resounding applause for the MD once again. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, it may interest you to note that there are different women groups from the region. May I crave your indulgence to recognize some of these women. In our midst, we have the Ijaw Women Connect. Please stand for recognition. Ijaw Women Connect. IYC Worldwide, led by Freedom Atigbe. We also have the youths from Cross River State. Please say a round of applause for them. Uguta Youth. The Niger Delta Youth Movement, led by Comrade Major Frank Ekene, National President, we recognize you. The Ankyo Bricks women who are here in our midst, we recognize you. The beautiful women of Delta State in the house, we recognize you, please. Thank you. APC women from Bayelsa State. Thank you. Let me also ask if we have the youths and women from Abia State, if you are here, rise for recognition. The youths and women from Abia State, Akwa Ibom State, Bayelsa State, Cross River State, Delta State, Youth and women from Edo State. Youth and women from Ondo State. Thank you. And youth and women from River State, are they here? Are their hosts, youths and women from Imo State? Thank you. Your Excellency, once again, let me crave your indulgence to recognize in our midst the Honorable Commissioner for Youth Development, Imo State, Honorable Dr. Emeka Mandela, who is here representing all the commissioners of youth empowerment in the United States. Please stand for recognition, Honorable Mandela. Thank you. Thank you. A round of applause for him. Thank you. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, may I respectfully invite to the mic our sound technocrat, a detailed technocrat like no other, the former Secretary to Delta State Government, former Commissioner for Higher Education in Delta State, Primary and Higher Education Delta State, our own Chairman, Governing Board of Nddc, Mr. Chiedu Ebie Esquire. Please, a round of applause for him. A round of applause for our Chairman.
Women, oye! Women, oye! Your Excellency, the Governor of Imo State and Chairman, Advisory Council of the Niger Delta Development Commission, very powerfully represented by a large delegation of the Imo State Executive Council and House of Assembly, led by the Deputy Governor and the Speaker. I recognize you all. Members of the National Assembly, our Chairman, Senate Committee on Nddc, thank you for bringing your wife to this event. And we recognize you, Madam. And also the distinguished senators here. Madam Deputy Governor, please permit me to stand on the already established protocol for want of time. Today in Owerri, we've come here to celebrate the women and youth. The women are very special to us because everybody in this room is born of a woman. And so, and we just want to let you know that as we go along in this journey as the 7th Governing Board of Nddc, we will continue to prioritize and recognize the women and the youths. And that is why we have set a special day today for the women and the youth. It's not all about infrastructural development and brick and mortar. Today we have two very intelligent speakers, my brother and friend, Dele Oye, a seasoned legal practitioner, and Mrs. Chinyere Odu, to give us a pep talk on entrepreneurship, gender equality, and everything that is needed from the youth and of the women. So, when you go back home, you can also let your peers know. And we cannot accommodate all the people, all the women and youths of the Niger Delta here today. But as we go along, programs will definitely be rolled out. We've started with a lot of them, and we will continue. What we need is the support, encouragement, and prayers from each and every one of you, especially the youths, because if there's no peace in the Niger Delta, there can be no meaningful development. So on this note, I'll just like to say thank you very much to the people of Imo State for turning out in your large numbers, and also to the National Assembly, who always give us the support that we need. We thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Please let's put our hands together for the chairman of the governing board of the NDC, Mr. Chiedu APA Esquire. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have more youth and women groups here. May we recognize the Niger Delta Women Alliance led by evangelist Mary Chijoke. Please let's put our hands together for her. Thank you. We also have Ambassador Ambrose Akpo Soprochukwu, National Youth Council Chairman, River State Chapter. Please put your hands together. May I also recognize Engineer Jato Abido, National Coordinator, Niger Delta Youth Council Worldwide, NDYC. And also here with us is the Deputy President, IYC, Comrade Atigbi E. Fred, PhD, Fred Dopa. Please put your hands together. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I at this point invite a man who is ever present in the decisions, the celebrations, the challenges of the Commission, and he spares no time in giving accolades when deserved. Please let's welcome on stage as he delivers his congratulatory message. Distinguished Senator Ekpeyong Asokwo. He is the Chairman, Senate Committee on NDDC.
Women una day. Women una day. No woman. Build the youth. Build the youth. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma, here represented by Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Imo State. My distinguished colleagues, distinguished Senator Patrick Ndubueze, distinguished Senator Osita Izunaso, distinguished Senator Titus Zam, distinguished Senator Ezenwa Francis, distinguished Senator Victor Ome, and distinguished Senator Tony Nwoye. The Chairman, Managing Director, board members, and esteemed staff of the Niger Delta Development Commission, traditional rulers, community leaders, and people of Imo State, young men and women of the Niger Delta. My name is Asuko Ekpeyong, Senator representing Cross River South. Thank you. As well as representing the young people of the Niger Delta. I say that because when I was inaugurated into the 10th Senate, I was in my 30s. And for people who know the Senate, even by its very definition, the etymology of the word Senate is a congregation of wise old men. And so, while I don't define myself as a young person, because I don't define myself as a youth, because the United Nations defines youth as between the ages of 15 and 24. I am by perspective in the National Assembly seen as a young person. And so that is why I say the young men and women of the Niger Delta are my secondary constituency. And in the Senate, if I have achieved anything, if there are any successes that are recorded on my behalf, it is because I have had the opportunity to be in the company of wise men, such as the men standing here. As wise men and women that we have in the Senate, if I have seen further, it is because I have stood on their shoulders. So young men and women, as you are gathered here today, I say all that to say this. You are in the company of very wise men and women. Take the opportunity and be deliberate to nurture yourself, to develop yourself, to engage in this opportunity of this conference so that you can learn
and develop yourself even further. Build the youth. Women unade. Our mothers are in the house. You know, for us politicians, if you've ever run for an elected office, you know not to play with the women. Because when a woman stands by you, she stands by you all the way. All the way. To success or to failure, she will not depart from you. And it's the same thing economically. My background is in microfinance. And it is said, there's a school of thought that says that when you empower a woman, you empower the household. No be so? When you empower a woman, you empower the household. And here's a little joke as an experiment. There's this experiment where an office manager at the close of work, as he's leaving the office, he has 2 office assistants, one male, one female, about the same age. And as he's going, he gives them a tip. He gives the female assistant 10,000 naira. He gives the male assistant 10,000 naira. And he closes. Now, as they close, the male assistant, if he had planned to use a bus back home, that 10,000 naira is disposable and windfall income. He will change from the bus, he will order an Uber ride. And on the way home, he will stop at maybe a bar to watch the match of the day. He will buy a beer for himself. He will buy a beer for his friend. He will even buy a beer for the friend of the friend that he doesn't even know his name. And they'll watch the match, they'll enjoy themselves. He may even garnish that beer with a small plate of pepper soup and finish that money before he gets home. But you see a woman, the woman assistant, the female assistant that was given that same 10,000 naira, if she planned to use a bus, she will still use that bus. If the house is not far, she will walk home. And as she's going home, she may stop at the market, buy foodstuff, and put it in the house. So that 10,000 naira made it to the house. So I say this, MD, EDs, I need your attention, please. Going forward, please, when you are doing your empowerment, when you are doing your interventions, your skill trainings, ensure that at least 60% of that are for the women folk. Women una day, no woman. It is a wonderful feeling to be in the presence of my immediate constituency, the brilliant, energetic, and resourceful youth and women of the Niger Delta, gathered here to celebrate 25 years of the existence of this remarkable institution. Some of you have made this trip over quite challenging terrain, and I truly appreciate your presence here. Let me begin by acknowledging the hardworking and dedicated board, management, and especially the staff of the Nddc, past and present, whose commitment has sustained the Commission over the last quarter of a century. Through hard work and determination, these men and women over the decades have enabled the Nddc to award scholarships to students in both local and foreign institutions, conduct programs, support entrepreneurship schemes, build roads, schools, bridges, and health centers. When one pauses to measure the impact of the Nddc, it is truly breathtaking. You should all be very proud of your accomplishments. The present team has dramatically changed the perception towards the Nddc, which is now regarded as the standard bearer in terms of service delivery, and working with you has been very rewarding. To my fellow young people of the Niger Delta, I urge you to emulate the discipline and dedication to their duty that this board, management, and staff have. I assure you that the 10th National Assembly, led by His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, as well as the members of the Senate Committee on Nddc, will continue to ensure the implementation of policies, programs, and projects that guarantee equal access and opportunity for every one of you. One of the key pathways to unlocking the potential of the young people of the region is education, especially in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The jobs of tomorrow in artificial intelligence, financial technology, health innovation, and renewable energy require these skills. I am pleased that the Nddc has demonstrated support for these initiatives. I encourage the Commission to deepen relationships with the private sector by collaborating with technology hubs, vocational institutions, and creative enterprises. The Nddc can scale its reach and amplify its impact. At the national level, there exists a strong synergy between the executive, under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the National Assembly, under the chairmanship of His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio. Both partners in progress are determined to transform the fortunes of the Niger Delta. There is a renewed focus on the empowerment of the young men and women of the region. And working together, we have accomplished several feats, including launching the NEL Fund Student Loan Scheme, signing a new minimum wage bill into law, the establishment of the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, as well as the commencement of the Lagos-Calabar coastal roads, from both ends, mind you, which will ultimately provide immense economic and tourism opportunities for our region when completed. Once again, I congratulate the NDDC on its 25th anniversary. To every youth and woman here today, remember that the future is yours. The Niger Delta is counting on you, and so is Nigeria. And as we have gathered here to celebrate the NDDC at 25 years with the young men and women of the region, we pray to God that we assemble once more again in another 25 years to celebrate the NDDC at 50. And may these young men and women who are seated at the back be standing before us at that time, leading the Niger Delta, while we sit on the sidelines congratulating them and their various accomplishments. Thank you very much. God bless Imo State, God bless Niger Delta region, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
A resounding applause for the Senate Committee Chairman on NDDC, distinguished Senator Asuko Ekpenyong, and other senators in the House. Please, a round of applause for them. A round of applause for them, please. Thank you. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I respectfully recognize in the House Honorable Felix Nweke, Member, Federal House of Representatives. He is the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Information and National Orientation. He is here with other House members. Please, a round of applause for them. Your Excellency, may I also crave indulgence to recognize the Youth Wing Imo State Chapter of Ohanes Ndibo, led by Charles Uringo. Please, a round of applause for them. And also the Niger Delta Grassroots Women, Imo State, led by Princess Chinwe Njoku. Please, a round of applause for them. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we shall have the speakers in the House talk to us at this time. May I kindly request that the speakers have 20 minutes each, 20 minutes to do justice to their papers. The first speaker this afternoon is Honorable Dele Kevin Oye. He is the former National President, Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture, NASIMA. Honorable Dele Kevin Oye Esquire is an accomplished legal practitioner, distinguished economic advocate, and visionary business leader with well over 35 years of experience, spanning in law, corporate governance, ethics, mining policy, advocacy, and investment facilitation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I invite to the mic Honorable Dele Kevin Oye Esquire. A round of applause for him, please. Former National President of NASIMA.
The Executive Governor of Imo State, ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Her Excellency Mrs. Eko Maru. Actually, I almost got a lift yesterday from your husband at the airport as a colleague. Very grateful. the chairman of the Senate Committee on Nddc and his beautiful wife, and all the senators here, with my very good friend, Senator Osita Izunoso, the chairman of Nddc, Chief Chiedu Ebie, the MD of Nddc, and board members. I just beg, because they've told me to stay for 20 minutes. I don't know how you would do a 25th anniversary lecture and make sense in 20 minutes. But the chairman of the Senate Committee has smiled and said I should ignore thank you, sir. He said I should take 35. Okay. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a profound honor to address you today as we commemorate the 25-year anniversary of the NDDC. This gathering signifies not only a celebration of our collective achievements, but also a crucial moment to reflect on our obligations and opportunities as we look forward. Today, I stand before you as a witness to the Niger Delta's region-inspiring journey, a journey filled with both challenges, remarkable triumphs, having served as the immediate past president of NACIMA and also the chairman of the organized private sector of Nigeria. I've observed positive transformations that have emerged from NDDC initiatives. As we celebrate this important anniversary, I wish to congratulate the NDDC boss, staff and management for 25 years of positive contributions to Nigeria and the region. To exemplify this sentiment, I refer to the words of our esteemed Managing Director of NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, who recently, as reported by The Guardian of 7th July 2025, emphasized that skills such as pipe fitting, sandblasting, scaffolding, forklifting are not only essential, but indeed marketable in sectors like construction, oil and gas, and industrial services. With the same spirit, I also want to quote one Mr. Jude Junior Palmer, who noted on May 25, 2025, in his Facebook post that the NDDC's 25th anniversary highlights resilience, serves as a launch pad, this is very important, serves as a launch pad for future growth. This dynamic interventionist agency underscores its mission to transform the Niger Delta, a region that deserves prosperity, peace, and sustainable development. Subtopic celebrating NDDC initiative. In its 25 years, the NDDC has indeed taken historical strides in various sectors, reflecting acute awareness of the crucial and critical role that women and youth play in driving socio-economic transformation. Among its notable programs, which the NDDC has made huge investment and created huge impact, are the agricultural development in its project with the Life End, which they have considered a lot of money into. Then they also have the youth empowerment, that is the HOPE scheme, the holistic opportunities on project engagement scheme and blueprint. They also offer several training facilities. And I think if we remember, we saw some of our militants, I think some of them became pilots, and all through to the work of the NDC and how they've changed perception. And very importantly, as the chairman, the managing director has mentioned, my first major interaction with the NDDC was when they wanted to register the Niger Delta Chamber of Commerce. And it's normally NACIMA that gives license to register it. The NDDC first of all started trying to register it as a government agency. And they were quoting Section 7 of their law and everything. And I told them, if you can show me where government can become private sector, then also show me how private sector can also become government. Despite the very critical hurdles we put on their way, I saw a government agency that was determined to achieve its purpose. And when I saw that determination, they took our advice. Not only taking our advice, they followed everything, all the conditions, and indeed we jointly registered that together. I'm very proud to be part of that, and the chairman has already mentioned, the MD mentioned it. I want to say it's not only working, it is live and working. And the money that was mentioned, the figure that was mentioned is slightly below what the check I thought I took home that day. But I will reconcile with the chairman and the MD eventually to make sure that that youth empowerment scheme, that loan scheme, It is working, and those of you that need loans within the region should approach the Niger Delta Chamber of Commerce, not Nddc again. The money has been domiciled with the private sector, and we are having oversight over it to make sure it gets to all of you here. Moreover, perhaps most important initiative are in poverty alleviation, changing the average Nigerian and world perception of the Nigerian Delta youth. This is very significant, but before President Yadua went to the creeks, there was a general perception in Nigeria that every youth in the Niger Delta was a militant. But the NDDC, this is one of the highest jobs you've done to change that perception so that we're able to engage and work with the poor of the Niger Delta. I think we should be very proud of that. Now, coming to our women, this is very important. I want to confess first that I'm a product of a woman. My mother trained me, sent me to school, paid all my school fees. I think every man here should clap for every woman here. Because, especially in some of our regions where the men wear wrapper, the men don't do much. I remember I was buying a land for a university in Delta State. So you have to go there as early as 3, 4 a.m. in the morning to do the negotiations. They will tell you that their wife has gone ahead to the farm, while the man will be waging cola and probably getting drunk before 6 o'clock, before he manages to crawl his way there. You don't wonder how much work the man would do if the woman had already gone ahead 3 hours before that. So this is why we must not joke with our women. Women empowerment is so significant. They will make sure the children go to school and even prepare food for the careless man, even though it does not provide. So please, Nddc, I think it should be 70 to 30. The women should have 70%. As we maximize this program, we must remain vigilant about addressing these systematic barriers that inhibit women's progress. Barriers that limit to land, credit, leadership, and markets empowering women. It's not merely an act of goodwill. It is a strategic investment in our future. Examples of Camp Steel. There's a company called Camp Steel. They have 4,000 workers. Out of that 4,000, they have 80% as women. So I asked the chairman, Dr. Kamoru, why do you employ so many women? He said these women stabilize the homes. They make sure the children go to school, and they even feed the man even when he's reckless and has not found himself. So I think it's a model for our country to empower women. I know my colleagues, men, will say, why are you talking like this? I've already confessed that I'm biased. I was brought up by my mother, and I cannot see why I cannot support women. So we must advocate for programs specifically tailored for female entrepreneurs, ensuring they receive adequate training, capital, mentorship programs, and equitable access to formal markets, including opportunities within the African Continental Free Trade. Moreover, we must prioritize representation, promoting women's leadership within Nddc, starting from the board. I don't know how many women you have on the current board. Please, Mr. President should look into that. Starting from the board appointment and in other management positions. And in NDC-backed initiatives like the Nddc Chamber of Commerce, businesses, cooperatives, and other decision-making bodies, we should make sure we have this affirmative action to deliberately include women in these activities. Inclusivity also entails championing the vulnerable among us, particularly rural women, widows, women living with disabilities, whose challenges are often disproportionate and overlooked. Tackling progress must extend beyond mere numbers. We need tangible evidence of changed lives, improved circumstances. NDC must not repeat the mistake. Please, this is very important, Mr. Chairman. NDC must not repeat the mistakes being made by our banks, who declare billions, hundreds of billions every day without industries. What I'm saying is you must make sure that you have women, not as a matter of talk, you have to walk the talk in all your activities. Then coming to our youth, we must harness our youth potentials because the youth of Niger Delta are strong and have been part of development within Niger Delta, addressing their challenges through empowerment initiatives, keeping them engaged in meaningful ways we unlock initiatives and keeping them to be engaged meaningfully. I've deliberately put here in the paper contributions of the youth of the Niger Delta. Their contributions comes under economic contribution. We have entrepreneurship, skilled workforce, and resource management. Under social contributions, I've mentioned advocacy and activism, cultural promotion, and community development. The other challenges facing our youth within Niger Delta, I've mentioned unemployment and limited access to education. This is very important because someone who did not go to school is an embarrassment to himself. And that is what creates the dependency culture within the region. Because every time they see any pipeline, they think their hope is in the pipeline and they want to break it. A man that is well educated knows the value, that he does not need to see that the hope is on the pipeline or is coming on the pipeline. We also have the issue of youth restiveness, which the Nddc have curtailed by their various interventions. Opportunities of youth empowerment. I've mentioned empowerment programs being done by the Nddc, spearheading several initiatives on skills development. Holistic development approach, that there's need to have a holistic development approach. The enhanced educational skills and training, youth inclusion in governance. This is very important because you tend to make mistakes that want to take decisions for our children. Most times, experience, I used to shop for my daughter. I discovered she does not wear the clothes. And I asked, this is her experience. She said, I don't like it, that you are shopping for yourself. So what this means, you must allow the youth to make the choices while you give them guidance. Don't always assume you can make decisions for them. And that's why you must include them in management, especially in decisions that affect them, so that they can actually believe in it and own it. Then we also have sustainable resource management initiatives, which you must also provide. I must mention here very important that the Nddc is one of the biggest catalysts within the Niger Delta. Now you have one person in Delta State, he takes contract for pipeline monitoring. If you cannot get part of that contract directly from Abuja, I don't want to mention the name so that I can live here safely, but you can have an MOU with that person, that the pipelines within the 9 states within Niger Delta, you should be able to use the people you have trained to be involved in guiding it. That way, it's not only enough to train people, you must give them market access. And that is very important. And if you do that, you will see that you are not only providing training, you're also providing employment. So you must, and that's why I'm also very proud of the decision we take with the Niger Delta Chamber of Commerce, that before you can do any business with Nddc, you must be a member of that chamber. What it does is, those entrepreneurs will be forced to open offices and businesses within the region, so that all your money don't go back to Abuja or Lagos. So it's very important to implement that, and we'll continue to use this. And you know, today is 25, and I must talk about the perception of Nddc. As we reflect on the past 25 years of Nddc, I acknowledge there is misperception surrounding its operation. While many commend its developmental projects, there exists a valid critique regarding issues of transparency and accountability. I must mention that this is not about the current management. We are reviewing 25 years. And thus, as we look forward, let us make a collective commitment to elevating standards that will further enhance spirit of trust, ensuring that every initiative is dedicated to Nddc core values, based on principles of transparency, accountability, and effective implementation. This is I'm going towards where I really want to spend time, promoting Nddc sustainability and independence. To materialize our vision for a sustainable Nddc that operates independently with little or no federal or state government funding in the next 25 years. What I'm saying is, the target we are giving you today, that in the next 25 years, we don't want to hear you are depending on government solely or substantially for your funding. By 25 years, when you'll be 50, you should have reached a level where through your own activities, you can rely on your name to generate opportunities through some of the investments you are making now, to catalyze yourself into a substantial, not only to contribute to the Niger Delta, to the entire Nigerian nation, and act as a model of sustainable development. I've given ideas here that you need to enhance your funding and resource allocation. I've mentioned you need to ensure that when you determine to make projects, make sure you have money for it. There's no room for white elephant projects or to make promises that you cannot keep. So secondly, you must explore alternative funding. In the private sector, for you to do any business, you only need 10% or 20%. The 80% is attracted by your 20%. We are ready to teach you how to do that if you have sustainable arrangement and proper governance. Because no private sector will give you their money if they are not sure it will get to the project site substantially. So we have the issue of, we need to also improve project planning and implementation. Develop robust project planning and implementation frameworks to ensure projects are completed on time and within budget. Because the more you keep it further, you are likely to exceed budget. Then you need to prioritize projects that have the greatest impact on the region and communities. There is nothing more important if you go to a community or an area and say, what are your 5 priority projects? If you do any of those projects, the community will have a natural buy-in. And people like Senator Osita, who have a lot of money, can even support you because it's part of his own agenda. But when you go because you want to show that you are Nddc, you have money, you go and start something that the people don't believe in, they'll be watching you and be hoping you fail. And you should always avoid such things. Never ever start a project that the community did not bet on, because you cannot know more than that community. Because the requirement may be access to the river, but you want to do a road to the airport. How many people in the community have go to the airport? So you have to find out what they really need so that you prioritize it. You need to promote transparency and accountability. These Abuja Amaderis that always come to you, they come to you and say, we are this, we are that. If you have proper governance, it's difficult for them to insist. But if they know you spend money with ease, they can also make a demand on you. So it's in your own interest for sustainability to have proper governance. Like you are doing investment in Life End, you have done some in Niger Delta, you must not go back there and break your own rules. The day you do that, the person you gave that money will spend more than you. So it's always in your interest to insist on governance. The person will always offer you, if you need anything, the day you take, you have killed that project. So it's very important you have proper governance. Then you also need to strengthen regulatory and monitor, evaluate all your projects and identify areas of improvement. Have monthly reports on all your projects. Where you have challenges, discuss it and work with it. Then you also need to develop partnership with organizations that share similar goals and objectives to amplify impact. All this will make those organizations to invest. Like you did in Life and you invested some money. The World Bank and IFA, they are going to also invest part of their own money. You need to have such partnerships so that you can have greater impact. You need to empower local communities. Engage with local communities, businesses within communities to ensure their needs and concerns are addressed. Don't try to know all or try to teach people what to do. Go there and listen more and don't show. Money does not do anything. It's planning. If you put money first, you are going to lose it. So make sure if you are buying land or you are doing anything, take steps. Show that the money is too much, what they are asking. Show that you don't have money. That is the way we, the private sector, make investments. But the government comes and says, no, increase the boat. There's nothing like that in business. You are not government in what you are doing. You are trying to meet very meager resources you have. You have to make sure you apply it. You need to support community-led initiatives. If you have a town that have decided that they want to build a bridge, you will only pay part of it. There is nothing wrong with you to now say, no, that bridge is not important. You want to compete with the community. You end up wasting your money. They can even frustrate you. You start having security problems. People will be stealing your materials because they don't believe in it. So it's very important that you prioritize and work. They should also focus on legacy projects. This is important. You prioritize completing long-standing projects to demonstrate commitment to delivering results. They also need to ensure new projects are aligned with the regions or communities' development needs. I've already mentioned that. Then promote collaboration and partnerships. This is so important. And how do you do this? How do you promote collaboration and partnerships? I've taken the pains to list what you need to do under PPP, as private-public partnership. You have resource optimization. You need to expertise sharing of information. Very important. Then you also need to increase impact, enhance sustainability. So there is no use If you need 5 rooms, you want to build 30 rooms, you want to show that you are an Nddc, you have deep pocket, those things don't work. If the community is a small community, they need 5 classrooms, you go and build 3-story building. When the people cannot climb up, or you start installing lifts in my village when the light is not setting, that is a white elephant project, and the people will be looking at you like an idiot. So it's not about the means or the money, it's about what is required in every location. So examples of successful collaboration is public-private partnership. Then we also have what we call multi-stakeholder partnership. All these are detailed so that I don't take too much of the time. To ensure successful collaborations, you must have clear communication. It's very important that you communicate things in writing so that there's no confusion, especially to your subordinates and people that are working with you in partnership. You must also have shared goals and objectives. Don't do partnership with people that don't share your ideas. It's never about the contract, it's about the person and commitment. Anytime you are doing something with someone, you have to look at the contract, you have lost that battle. So it's always very important. You must show mutual respect. Anytime you are doing something with people in government, they want to show you that they are government. They will tell you we are the government. And I used to smile because I'll get up and say, go and government yourself. I'm not doing it again. So it's very important that if you call somebody your partner, no matter your resources, you must show respect. That way the person will invest more. But when you are not humble, the person may just enter to put you in trouble and pull out. So it's important you let them have commitment what you are doing. Then again, you must have effective governance. This is critical. So in conclusion, as we celebrate the dedication and transformative efforts of the Nddc over the past 25 years, let us also renew our commitment for a future where every woman and youth in Niger Delta is not only empowered, but inspired to lead. In the face of significant national challenges, we have huge insecurity all over the country now, and economic challenges characterized by the severe devaluation of the naira, resulting in high inflation, dwindling budgetary allocation, likely to result in hunger and despair in our communities. These crises may fuel the people's dwindling expectations of positive intervention from the national and subnational governments, leaving many feeling marginalized and hopeless. So what I'm saying, you are the last hope of the common man of the Niger Delta. Until you are able to live there, not just to live there, to make them leaders, you have not achieved anything. Don't look back that you have done some things. Rather, I want you to use this as a stepping stone, that you have started well, that you must build on it. Finally, in these trying times, the Nddc stands as a beacon of hope for the Niger Delta region. Empowering our youth and women is not just a noble gesture. It is an essential investment in a brighter future for our entire region. We must emphasize the critical importance of continuity, transparency, and leadership as we strive to appoint individuals who share a vision for unlocking the Niger Delta's full potential. I will just give you one example of Singapore. When Singapore started, they made sure they got any good person from anywhere in the world. So this idea of you are not from the region, when you need people who have competencies, you must look for the best person to solve your problem. I'm not saying you should spend resources of this region on other people, but if they have expertise, you know they can take you close to your destiny. There is no need saying the person is not from the United States. Hire him on contract. You may not put him on your civil service. When you finish with the 2-3 years contract, you would have made your journey shorter and not spend resources wrongly. So I want to sincerely congratulate the Nddc, the Senate committee, who are the ones that normally make all the budgetary approvals. I want to assure you and make commitment that we're working closely with the Nddc. In the next 25 years, we may not need you so much. We are going to raise our money. We are going to create our governance. And most importantly, we are going to have a Niger Delta, which Nigeria will lean on as a region of resource control. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Speaker. Thank you for giving us that wonderful speech. We must continue to encourage the spirit of creativity and innovation in our region, and we appreciate that insightful lecture. God bless you so much. And without wasting time, we'd like to remind you that Niger Delta is a region that is blessed with so much talent. You see the very best of creatives who dwell across this country. This region is their best peak. Without wasting time, I'd like to bring on stage for the second time this wonderful group. Their voices do not just remind us of melody, but also share the meaning, spirit, unity, and so much that we have in this region. If your hands are not busy, put your hands together for the Vocal Affinity Choral Nigeria. Please put your hands together for them.
very much. Please let's put our hands together for the Vocal Affinity Chorale Nigeria. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is the day for youth and women, and of course we are going to recognize every group that is here. Of course, we will be acknowledging that we have less time. May I acknowledge the presence of Comrade Blessed Ugere, Urobo Progressive Union President, Youth Wing Worldwide. Please put your hands together for him. We also have here with us Noble Focus Women from Port Harcourt, led by Mrs. Ifoma Ifeanyi. You're welcome. And also here is the unique coalition of female founders of NGOs in the Niger Delta region, led by Honorable Stella W.O. Amesi. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is an academician. Please can we welcome Mrs. Chinyere Uchenna Odo on stage as we read her citation. Please put your hands together for her. Mrs. Chinyere Uchenna Odo, PhD, Justice of the Peace, FCAI, is the principal of the Archdeacon Crowther Memorial Girls School, Eleanor Ward, Port Harcourt, a premier all-girls secondary school east of the Niger. She is also the president of the Women and Girls Organization, Diocese of Evo. She has in her academic bag Bachelor of Arts degree in Religious Studies, a postgraduate diploma in education, a Master's of Education in Educational Management, and a Doctor of Philosophy, Educational Management. She facilitates in different conferences professionally and as a minister of the gospel. She is an author and co-author of academic papers, including a paper on the role of education of Nigeria's sustainable economic growth, which will be published in September 2025. She is married to Right Reverend Innocent U. Odo, Bishop of the Diocese of Evo Anglican Communion. She is a proud mother of Dr. Uche Chi Odo, who lives and works in the United Kingdom. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our second speaker, Mrs. Chinyere Uchenna Odo.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Senator Hope Uzochukwu, ably represented here by the Deputy Governor.
Imo State.
What did I say? Rivers State. Imo State. Thank you. I'm sorry for that. Directing gender issues towards entrepreneurship and empowerment in the Niger Delta. Let me make this statement, which is very crucial to me. Gender equality is not a favor to women. It is a strategy for development. Directing gender issues through entrepreneurship and empowerment involves creating opportunities and support systems to empower women, youths, and other marginalized genders to participate in and benefit from entrepreneurial activities, ultimately contributing to greater gender equality. This approach aims to address systemic barriers and biases that hinder women and youths in their stride for success, while leveraging the unique perspectives and contributions of diverse entrepreneurs. This short paper shall consider the following headings. Congratulations to our beloved Nddc at 25. Gender issues in context. Strategic pathways forward towards entrepreneurship and empowerment. And finally, the role of the Nddc and other stakeholders towards sustainable development. For 25 years, the Niger Delta Development Commission, Nddc, has lived up to her name as an arm of government committed to the development of the Niger Delta area. The development strides which Nddc has done in the past 25 years are quite obvious and very heartwarming to the nation, particularly in her area of operation, the Niger Delta region, as we see in the different facets of our society. Infrastructurally, Nddc has built roads, bridges, and recently the solar street lights, which has lightened a lot of places, including my school, ACMGS Elelewo. In the health sector, Nddc has done a lot of free medical mission in addition to donation of varied medical equipment. In the education sector, Nddc has given lots and lots of foreign scholarships, donated varied gifts, educational gifts, and my school is a big beneficiary of such donations of textbooks, science equipment, internal roads, as well as street lights, which I said earlier. They recently launched U-Lesson tablets. My students also participated in that program. In social services, Nddc has done lots and lots of palliatives, done interventions in IDP camps and co. In women empowerment, I want to congratulate Nddc for their interventions in maternal health in particular. Such interventions have saved a lot of lives of women and children. Skills acquisition. For the youths, there have been training, skills acquisition, empowerment, entertainment industry, and the rest of them. These outstanding accomplishments notwithstanding, the area is still in their need, permit me to say, still yearning for more interventions. And it is hoped that in the next 25 years, when Nddc would have become 50 years old, that a large percentage of our people in this area, particularly the women and the youth, would have been fully empowered for sustainable development. This is where intentionality becomes pertinent to direct gender issues to achieve entrepreneurship and empowerment in this region in order to continue in our strides towards sustainable development. If we are to genuinely pursue development in this Niger Delta region, we must shift from treating gender issues as ordinary social concerns to begin to recognize gender issues as fundamental economic and developmental imperatives. To achieve meaningful and inclusive growth, we must recognize that gender is a very important issue. it is a development issue. And if we are truly committed to building a prosperous Niger Delta, we must make intentional efforts to empower all genders, especially the women, the youths, and other vulnerable groups through entrepreneurship and inclusive policies. What do we mean when we say gender issues? Focus is on socially constructed roles, responsibilities, opportunities, expectations placed on individuals based on their sex. A lot has been said about gender issues. In the Niger Delta, these expectations have somehow historically and systemically disadvantaged women and girls in several critical ways. There is limited access to land and property. We know that it is not very easy for a typical woman to own any piece of land. And that has greatly hampered the growth of the typical woman and the youth as well, especially in agriculture and aquaculture. I was glad when the MD said that much of the focus now will be on agriculture. I jumped in my heart. Very important, because we must eat and be alive to be able to do any other work. We also have problem of underrepresentation in decision making at the community level and even in governance. Women are often either absent or poorly represented, leaving their voices unheard in matters that affect them directly. We have gender-based violence and insecurity, domestic violence, sexual harassment and insecurity in the Niger Delta directly limits the woman's mobility, confidence, and participation in the economy. There is youth disempowerment. Many of our young men and women are caught in circles of unemployment and violence with limited access to entrepreneurship training or startup support. Why do we say that gender matters will promote entrepreneurship and development? As I said earlier, I repeat, gender equality is not a favor to us, the women. It is rather a strategy for development and must be understood as such. In the Niger Delta, entrepreneurship offers an opportunity to economically engage youth, women, and marginalized groups. We know that considering the large number of citizens which government has to take care of, it is impossible for government to engage, employ such large number of persons. Women in particular are known to reinvest up to 90% of their income back into their families and communities in education, healthcare, and nutrition. My senior colleague already mentioned it. Give a woman 10,000 naira only, her family. Thank you. Give a woman 10,000 naira, her woman will be part of that 10,000 naira. Integrating gender issues and the rest of them. I've been given paper, and we must direct gender issues towards entrepreneurship, because it is the key to unlocking inclusive and sustainable development. What are the ways forward? The strategic ways forward. There must be policy reform and gender inclusive governance at all levels. There must be economic empowerment through gender responsive finances from community to federal government. There should be skills development. Nddc is already doing a lot on that, and entrepreneurship training. Please, Nddc, go on with that good work you are doing. There should be leveraging of local industries and green opportunities, and promotion of role models and breaking stereotypes. Let me say more details. Celebrate and amplify the stories of successful entrepreneurs and innovators from this area. Use media, storytelling, and drama to challenge gender stereotypes and promote shared economic responsibility. Engage men and boys. That's why the youths are here. Whatever we do in order to make for gender equality, we must also consider the youth. What is the role of Nddc and other stakeholders? Ensure that at least, I wrote in my paper 40%. My brother says 70%. Wonderful. And I clapped. Of its empowerment program should be targeted at women and girls, women and youth. Create partnership. Monitor and evaluate all projects through a gender impact assessment lens. The women and youths who are the recipients of all that we have outlined, including the one my brother did earlier, also must know that they are major stakeholders in the promotion and acquisition of skills for entrepreneurship and empowerment. And their role is important. Our role as women, our role as youths is important. And I have here, you must be determined to depart from deprivation. You must be determined to depart from begging culture. If they don't give you, you will not eat. You must depart from the culture of depending on government for everything. If government doesn't pay, your child will not go to school. Be determined to get out of that lifestyle. As a woman, be determined that whether your husband gives you or not, you are able to take care of yourself, your children, your in-laws, your siblings, and every other person. Have passion. Have an unquenchable driving force to pursue your goal. Discover your gift and your talents. Build capacity. Opportunities abound everywhere for skills acquisition. Basic education. Acquire basic education. Of course, without basic education, there is no acquisition of skill. Adult education is open to anyone who was not opportune to go to school early in life. Specializations. Ensure that you are a master in your chosen vocation. Ensure that you are a master. Be distinguished so that you may become well sought after. Your attitude to work must be with integrity, discipline, faithfulness. You should be dependable, and you should have servant spirit, knowing that if you take care of another person's matter, you will also have your own. Suggested areas of entrepreneurship that our women and youth can explore computer training, including artificial intelligence, sports, photography, hairdressing, plating, weaving or fixing of weave-on, fashion designing, catering, dry cleaning, auto mechanics, production of house or office cleaning agents. Those little things could take you to places. Conclusion. The development of the Niger Delta cannot be achieved while gender inequality remains entrenched. We must start to take real action. We must move from token gestures to transformative investments, from marginalization to inclusion. I'm very glad to hear that Nddc has transited from transaction to transformation. We are talking about sustainable development. Let us imagine a Niger Delta where a young woman from Bayelsa owns a thriving fish farm. A widow in Ogoni runs a successful cassava processing business. A youth in Delta State develops a clean energy innovation with global impact. And women sit side by side with men at decision-making tables. This vision is possible, but only if we act with intention, commitment, and urgency. Let us move forward together, not just as a region rich in oil, but as a people rich in equality, opportunity, and shared prosperity. Thank you very much for listening.
A resounding applause for our speaker, Mrs. Chinyere Uchenna Odu, PhD, JPFCAI. Please, a resounding applause for her. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure and honor to invite to the podium the Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodimma, here represented by the Deputy Governor of Imo State, Her Excellency Lady Chinyere Iwoma Ekomaru, PhD.
Please, may we be seated. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Nddc, distinguished Senator Asakwo Ekpeyon and his beautiful wife, other distinguished senators here, with particular recognition to Senator Osita Izunaso, Senator Ezenwa Onyewuchi, and Senator Patrick Ndubueze. The Chairman, Governing Board of Nddc, Mr. Chinedu Ebie, Esquire. The Speaker, Imo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Chike Olembe, ably represented by the Deputy Speaker, Imo House of Assembly, Honorable China Iwanyanwu. The Managing Director and Chief Executive of Nddc, Chief Samuel Oboku, honorable members of Imo State House of Assembly, the Secretary to Imo State Government House, Chief Iwu, the Chief of Staff, Government House, Sir Nnamdi Anyehe, members of Imo State Executive Council, other members of Imo State's expanded ESCO, members of Nddc executive directors, state reps of Nddc, with particular recognition to Imo representative in Nddc, Dr. Kirian Uchebu. The chairman, Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers, and chairman, Southeast Traditional Rulers Forum, His Royal Highness Eze E.C. Okeke. Other traditional rulers here, very distinguished resource persons, heads of tertiary institutions, captains of industries, beautiful people of Niger Delta region, adorable women and vibrant youths, other distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my special honor to welcome you on behalf of the Governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, the Road Master, to this 25th anniversary special Youth and Women Conference of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Nddc, aimed at celebrating the vibrant youths and resourceful women of the Niger Delta, instilling in them sense of unity, peace, and progress in hard work. The continued collaboration of the Nddc with relevant stakeholders in the region, including the youths and women, as we are having today, has contributed to the remarkable milestones achieved by the Commission over the 25 years of its existence. It will be our happiness that the Commission continues in that positive trajectory going forward. The roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, markets, electrification, and other critical infrastructures successfully executed by the Commission are laudable achievements worthy of celebration. While thanking the board and management of Nddc for the various women and youth empowerment initiatives, such as this conference, Empowerment Development Program, Youth Scholarship Program, and the recent Youth Internship Scheme, I pray they intensify efforts in more policies and programs that give women and youth priority attention. I wish to also urge the Nddc to understudy and, if possible, copy the Skill Up Imo model, through which the state trained and equipped 40,000 Imo youths on digital skills, and replicate it in all the Niger Delta states, producing more employable youths, entrepreneurs, and digipreneurs across the 9 Nddc states. As a state led by a visionary leader and the chairman of the Nddc state governors, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, we will continue to partner with you, providing support where necessary, ensuring that the mandate given to the Commission by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in demonstration of his unwavering commitment to the development of the Niger Delta under the Renewed Hope initiatives delivers shared prosperity to the good people of Niger Delta. In Imo State particularly, we call on you to partner with us on this commendable project, Skill Up Imo, and also support us in our infrastructural development down to the grassroots, especially in flood and erosion control scheme, school rehabilitations, electricity generation, agriculture, dredging of the Orashi River, and improving the security of Niger Delta. Congratulations on your 25th anniversary. You are indeed making a difference. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please may I respectfully ask the chairman, the senators here, to join Her Excellency for a group photograph, please. Let me also invite the Secretary to the government of Imo State, the Speaker here, the Chief of Staff, please join Her Excellency to take this photograph. Thank you.
And you are still watching Newsday here on Arise News. That was the NDDC Renewed Hope Youth and Women's Conference live from Owerri, where key voices from across the Niger Delta came together to spotlight empowerment, innovation, and inclusive development for women and youth.